logarithmic function. It is the inverse of the exponential function. So it's like the opposite of the exponential function.
So that means we're going to be dealing with square roots, aren't we?
No.
That kind of makes me happy.
The square root is the opposite of a fixed power of 2. Okay? What we need to do is find the opposite of a changing power, of a variable power.
Is this moving on to a new chapter?
Yes. And we're going
Assignment
to start
13.
this today. We're not going to finish it. We're just going to go over a little bit of this so you guys can get started on it. We'll finish it on Thursday. Okay, so let's compare here the exponential function that we just talked about. So you have y equals a to the x power. Then x is the variable, or x is the power. Y is the result of raising a to the x power.
Is this in like assignment 13?
Yes. Okay, so you've got y is the result of raising a to the x power. Okay? So they give you a power, you raise the number to that power, you get the result. That's your y value. Okay? The logarithmic function does the opposite. Now the logarithmic function, the way it's written is very weird to people if you haven't seen it before. What messes people up, honestly, is just knowing what the notation means. The way it's written is y equals log. You just write L or G, that means the logarithmic function, with a as the subscript of x. So the way that I would say this is log base a of x. And I need you guys to say that. Log base a of x. So please make an effort to say it the correct way so that you don't sound log base a of x, so you don't sound like a bunch of hillbillies. Okay?
Okay, now, if they've got J in the problem, it's really supposed to be an X, right?
Well, you're not trying to graph that. That's just random letters. Hold on that for a second. Let's talk about this and then we'll look at problems, okay?
Okay.
Don't jump ahead of me. Okay? Here, what's going on is the opposite. Okay? Y is the power. Okay? X is the result. Of raising a to the y power.
So, when you said subscript of a, I'm trying to make sure a is a subscript that has an exponent.
X is not an exponent. A is just a subscript. So log and x are on the same level.
Okay.
The normal level. Okay. Did you guys hear that? The x is not an exponent of a. A is just a subscript. So log and x are all written on the normal level, and then a is just below as a subscript.
So, y is the power, x is the result of raising a to the y power?
So the way it works is instead of, like before, we're given a power and we raise the number to that power. Okay, with the logarithmic function, you're given the answer and you have to find the power. So we know the answer, we're looking for the power that I would raise that number to in order to get the answer.
So log base A of X is your answer?
Log base A of X, they'll put in a number for A and they'll put in a number for X. And you have to try to find the Y value. But the way I interpret that is X is the result of raising A to a power. And I have to find the power. Okay, so for example, if I wrote log base 3 of 81, so I would say that is log base 3 of 81. What that means is 3 to what power equals 81. So the result is 81. I want to know what my power is.
27.
3 to the 27th power?
No, not 3 to the 27th power. 3 times 27 make that. So 3 to the...
We know 3 squared is 9.
3 to the third power would be 27.
We know 3
Fourth
squared
power.
is 9. 3 to the third is 27.
3 to the fourth is
3 to the fourth is 81.
Huh.
So log base. So if they just ask me log base 3 of 81 equals what? It equals 4.
Okay.
The answer is 4
That
because
is-
4 is the power.
That doesn't sound
So
too
how
bad.
how do we type that into the calculator? Can't we use the log button for something? I've always wondered what that was for.
Yeah, so do I.
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
You giving me false hope.
Have you ever looked at all the buttons and say, what does this do? We're using a new button you've never used before. Not today, though. The calculator button, log button on the calculator, only does base 10.
Really?
Only does base 10.
So we're using the subscript button?
No, you can't use the subscript. There is a way to do it, but I'm not going to tell you today. Oh. I'm lying if you guys are nice to me. Very nice.
But can we do this guess and check thing with exponents?
You can do the guess and check thing with exponents, yes. And that's what I would recommend for now. Okay, now what we want to talk about is converting from exponential form of an equation to logarithmic form of an equation. Okay, exponential form, you would take a raised to a power, we'll call that b, and that will equal c.
So this is your ABCs of math.
Yeah, we're getting our ABCs as well. Okay? Now, with the logarithmic form, what I want to do is I want to take the same statement and just rewrite it. So I want to write something with the logarithmic function that gives me the exact same information. So this tells me that a raised to the b power is equal to c. So the way I would write this using the log function is I would say log base a of our answer, which is c, is equal to our power, which is b.
So those are two different forms.
Those are two different forms of it's two different ways of saying the same thing.
Okay.
Okay? They both tell me that a to the b power is equal to c. That's what the information I would get from that. That a raised to the b power is equal to c. Okay? Now the way you need to work this is that the base of the exponential function is the same as the base of your logarithm. Okay? So the base on top, the base is A, here the base is A. Okay? The other two numbers switch places with respect to the equal sign. Okay? So the base stays the base, the other two numbers switch places.
Okay. Could you take... Never mind.
Let's look at a couple problems.
Typically, how you do it. Delightful number one.
Okay. Write the logarithmic equation as an equation involving an exponent. So what they want me to do is rewrite this in exponential form. So rewrite it without the log. So if they tell me log base 5 of k equals L.
5 raised to the L power equals K.
5 to the L equals k. Perfect. So 5 is my base. L is my power. Capital L.
We'll accept...
Caps lock on, that's the problem. Equals
Yeah, it accepts it if you don't capitalize
K.
it.
You've got to use the exact same letters. They have to be capital or lowercase, exactly how they write
Really?
it.
Mine weren't.
It
It
takes
doesn't have to be
Yeah, it said
lowercase.
lowercase.
It takes lowercase.
Okay, I thought it had to be capital.
I think it
Never
has
mind.
to take the exact letters.
And I didn't say the exact. Yeah, I thought it had to be capital. Maybe they relaxed that because people were complaining about it. Okay, so 5 is my base, L is my power, K is the answer. Okay, 5 is the base, L and K change places. Now let's try to go the other way. Oh, here we have something we haven't seen before. What does that say? Some people think it says IN. It's actually in the lowercase l. It's LN. We're actually going to use two buttons on the calculator. You see the LN button? We get to use that one too.
Yeah.
Let's see it now. Why don't they do it in cat?
I don't know. I don't know. I always write it in caps just because some people think it looks like a 1 or an I. I've actually seen people get problems wrong on quizzes and tests because they type I instead of L. Make sure you always type it as L. Or L is for logarithm. LN is just a funny way of saying log base E. Now, why do we need an extra way of talking about this? I don't know. But this is the convention. I can't help it. Okay, so don't hate the messenger here. I'm just telling you guys what it means. So capital LN means log base E. That's all it means. It just means your base is E. You will never, ever, 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 ever see them write log base E. It's just not done. I don't know why. They will always write it as LN.
What does the N even mean? Why wouldn't they write it LE?
It means, it's French for logarithm natural. It means the natural base, which is the E is sometimes called the natural number. Yes.
So it's really the initials of the name in French.
Log natural. Okay. That's the way it's done. Don't
I
say
don't
it's
like
stupid.
that.
Nobody, if you guys come up with something, you can call it whatever you want. You know?
Doohickey.
You invent new math and you get to name it. That's the way it works. If somebody decided this is going to be called LN, and that's what it's called. We can't change it. Okay? Now you just need to know that this means, when they say LN, they mean the base is E. You got to remember that. So on number 2, LN of 2x.
So your base is E?
I can think of that as log base E of 2x.
Is that
Okay.
what you have to type in there?
So what I want to write that is I want to rewrite that as an exponential expression. So I'm going to rewrite this without the log in a way that tells me the exact same information. So I want to write it as something to a power
You want to write it as
equals something.
E
So E raised to what power?
to the Y.
My power would be Y equals
2x.
2x.
How do you...
Because the way I interpret the log function is I say E is what's raised to a power. 2x is the answer, so 2x is what it's equal to. Y is the power.
So log base of E. How do you write log base of E of 2x? Okay.
That's just what ln of 2x means. It means log base E of 2x.
You don't need to put that Y. And that equals Y needs to be in the normal place.
Okay, so E to the Y equals 2x. What if they want me to go the opposite direction? They want me to take an exponential expression and write it in log form.
Y equals...
No, log.
Would you use the ln instead of log?
Only do the ln if you see E. ln and E go together, otherwise no.
Y equals log 10x.
How do we say it, people? Log base.
Base.
You know, when I went to UK and there were all these kids from all these little high schools way out in nowhere, and their teachers didn't know how to say stuff. And so, because their teachers, like, they hadn't ever been taught things really themselves, you know, and they're teaching at these little country schools, and there were kids that were saying asymptotes and, you know, it's all this crazy stuff, and the teacher at UK would just go insane. She's like, don't you know that's not right, that's not how you say it. And, you know, if you guys want to go to 4-year schools and not make a fool out of yourselves, you got to get in the habit of, you know, talking the talk a little bit. Okay, and it won't write here again. Okay, so if I want to write this in logarithmic form, I've got log, my base is 4, my result is x, and my power is y.
Now, how do you make that tiny? That like that?
How do I write that? The only thing I need to do specially is the 4.
Right.
So the 4 is the subscript. So when I do log, and then you see the subscript over here, you can also do shift and the down arrow. See that over here, subscript?
Okay.
4. Okay, and then only the 4 is special. So once you're done with the 4, then just go back to normal typing. And then just type y equals x. And I put my x and my y in the wrong place. Log base squared x is equal to y. So your base stays the base and the x and y change places. Okay, so only the 4 is lower and everything else is on the normal line. Okay, what about number 4? 9 equals 3 to the second power. Well, if I want to write it with
Yeah.
logarithmic equation.
You would put... I can't see it. It would be 2 equals... 2 equals 3, 9, 2.
Let's start over. If I want to write it with as a logarithmic equation, I know I'm going to have log.
Okay.
So first, go ahead and start with your log, and then say, what's my base?
9. No, 3.
My base is 3. Then what happens to the 9 and the 2?
They switch. Well, it's going to be 9 equals 2.
9 equals 2. Log base 3 of 9 equals 2.
So basically, you keep in this current position, you keep the 9 and 2 basically in the same spot on.
Well, the 3 here is changing spot, but with respect to the 3, the 9 and the 2 are changing places. So they kind of change places with respect to which one is next to the base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this tells me the exact same information. This tells me that 3 raised to a power of 2 is equal to 9. So you gotta interpret it the exact same way.
And that's a subscript, right?
3 is a subscript. Everything else is normal.
Are they always going to have it be?
Are we finished with graphing on these? Or will any of this be graphing?
They might have you graph some. I'm not sure.
Not equals 4.
Let's evaluate. Let's try evaluating. Number 5. No, I just said we can't do this on the calculator, so. What happens? What if they don't give me a subscript? Like
Use
a.
E. LN.
You don't use E. You only use E if you see LN.
So it's just 1?
If they don't give you a subscript, they mean base 10, and you can use the calculator.
Oh.
So the only time you can use the calculator on these is like here, where you don't see a subscript.
Okay, now how would you put that in?
Just exactly like you see it.
Log of 5.
Log 5. Okay? They mean base 10, so you can do it on the calculator.
So that's basically what it is. It's almost 5 to the 10th root, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not a root. It's not the same as a root, and that's the reason. So what this means here, when they say log 5 is 0.69 69897, what they mean is 10 raised to that power, because the base is 10.
Oh, okay.
10 raised to that power should equal about 5. Okay? So, because remember, the answer is your power. So you're looking for the power you would raise your base to in order to get that number.
So then it would be log 5 equals 10?
No, log 5 equals 0.69897. Okay? But I'm just saying that's what that means, is that 10 raised to that power would give me 5. Because my base is 10.
So now it says go out 3 decimal places.
3 decimal places. So I would go.
Do we have to round up?
Yes, I would go 699 here on mine. Now LN64, they mean, when they say LN, they mean use the LN. So LN of 64.
Oh, well,
Okay?
I like that.
Now what does that mean? If that's equal to 4.159, that means E raised to that power would give me 64. So here the base is E. So if I check that, E to the 4.15 5.2888 gives me about 64. And then the last one is log of 63,260. Okay, I get 4.801. Okay, so you can only use the calculator on these for now when they don't give you a base and they mean base 10, Or if they use the ln, you can just use the ln button. Okay? Otherwise, you're just going to have to do it by guess and check or thinking about it. Like on here. Number 6. So let's do these just by thinking about them.
It's 3.
Okay? Log base 2 of 8 means 2 to what power equals 8?
2 to the 3rd power.
2 squared is 4. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So my power would be 3. So here you just want to do these by guess and check. You just want to say the base raised to what power would give you the number you see. Okay, so 3 to what power would be 81?
3 to the 4th.
3 to the 4th. So my answer here is 4.
No, you're doing
How
B.
is it going across? 5 to the 2nd would be 25. 3 to the 4th is 81. 4 to what power is 16?
2.
2. 5 to what power is 625? 4. That's it. Okay, so just do this by guess and check.
Okay.
Without
No.
using
And same thing
Weird.
I think with 7, although in 7
Yeah.
they're a little bit harder.
Yeah, those look pretty hard.